We are here at gotomath.com. Click on the calculus. Let's go down to finding the area between curves. And I believe we're doing 4.2. 4.2. Yeah. Trying to think of the last problem I did. Let's click on this thing, get a bigger picture. How about that? That's a nice big picture. Let me go ahead and write that down. So we got f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 2, and g of x is equal to negative x plus 10. Okay, got that written down. Alright, so by the looks of this thing, it looks like we're going to be breaking this up into two separate integrals. So we're going to be finding the area from whatever this is to somewhere about right in here, and then we're going to be integrating from here to here, finding the area under this line here. Alright, so let's get with it. If I can remember what that picture looks like. So we have f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 2. I'm going to try to write a little neater. G of x is equal to negative x plus 10. So let's kind of sketch this out here. Okay, so this is a parabola across somewhere down here at negative 2. Comes up like that. And then we've got one, here's positive 10. Slope of negative 1, so it's doing something like that. Alright, not bad picture. And we are finding this area here. So like I said, we're going to have to break this up because there's a fight going on. No, just kidding. We'll have to find, right, this x value and then this one right here. Right, those two. So let's go ahead and find what this is, and that means that we'll have to set this equal to 0. That's when y is 0. And solve for x. So bringing the 2 over, multiply by a half to both sides, and then square root it. Of course, it's the plus. You know, you write plus or minus here, but because we're working with the positive side, then we just keep this plus. Well, this is easy. This looks like 1. 2 over 2 is 1, square root of 1 is 1, so that's going to be 1 right there, right? Now let's go ahead and find this one. That means we'll have to set both these equal to each other and solve for x, and that doesn't look very nice. And we might have to use the quadratic formula. Of course, I don't really like to use the quadratic equation formula, whatever you want to call it. Formula if you don't write x is equal to, equation if you write x is equal to. And we'll probably complete the square because that's how I like to solve for x. Let's go ahead and take this x and bring it over. We got a little side work going on here, it looks like. Plus x. And then we have minus 2. Bring that 10 over, so we're going to end up with minus 12. Set this equal to 0. Alright, so we want to find the solutions to this, and I'm going to complete the square. It's a whole lot easier. So first thing we want to do is we want to make sure this is a positive 1 right here for a coefficient. And to do that, we're going to factor out the 2. So pull the 2 out. But that means we'll have to make this a half out front of x here. And that would be a 6. So that's actually nice. And of course, if you multiply both sides by half, that gets rid of that 2 right there. Now let's go ahead and complete the square here. So the way this works is we just write x, carry that sign down, take half of this. In other words, a half times a half is a fourth. Right? Take half of that. Then we square it. And then we always put a minus sign here and square this. So 1/4 squared is 1 over 16. Then we have minus 6. Right, still set it equal to 0. Now remember what happened to the 2. We multiplied both sides by half to get rid of that. Now what we can do is take this fraction here, move it over to the right hand side. Actually, let's get that all in one single fraction. And so we end up with negative 1 over 16 minus 6, and that gives us negative 97 over 16. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that over so that becomes a positive 97 over 16. Okay. And now what's going to happen here is, to get rid of this square, we're going to square root it. And then take this over here, and so that becomes a minus 1/4. A minus 1/4, and there it is. So I find this a whole lot easier in using the quadratic formula. Alright, just completing the square. Just remember, positive 1 needs to be out here, so therefore we need to factor it out. And we factored out a 2. Just rewrite x, rewrite whatever this sign is, rewrite that. Take a half of this, which is a 4th, right? Parentheses, put a square here. Always put a minus sign right here. And square this. You want to square it. So that's 1 squared is 1, and 4 squared is 16. Get this all in one single fraction. Take it over here. Square root it. And then take this guy and bring it out. Right? So there is our x. We finally found it. Ooh, we had to do some work on that. I was going to move the, can we remember this? Square root of 97 over 16 minus a 4th. I better write that down because I'm going to scroll up the page here. 97 over 16 minus a 4th. Yeah, completing the square I find just a whole lot easier. And anyway, that's what you're doing generally when you use the quadratic formula. You completed the square. Okay, so now that we know what this number is, or this number, should I just write that in right here? I think I will. 97, if I can. And of course the square root of 16 is 4. You know what? We'll just do that right there. How's that? And then minus a 4th. Okay, we'll just leave it like that. Actually, we could actually make this all one single thing, couldn't we? Since we have a common denominator. How about that? Let's get busy. It's 7 minutes and 50 seconds has already gone by. Alright, let's find this shaded region first. That means we're going from 1 to this number here, the square root of 97 minus 1 over 4. And this curve right here is going to be your 2x squared minus 2 dx. Alright, and then we're going to add it. Ooh, we don't know what that is, do we? Oh my gosh. Alright, our lower bound is square root of 97 minus 1 over 4. And our upper bound, which is this here. Okay, side work time. What is this? Well, that's easy. Just take g of x here, set it equal to 0. Find the solutions. Well, obviously 10, right? 10. X is equal to 10. So we're going to 10. I forgot about that. Okay. And we're underneath this curve, so negative x plus 10 dx. Alright, so it's set up, and you should know how to go from there. Okay, you should know how to go from there, surely. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to work this problem completely out, so I will integrate it. Let's see, this is going to be 2x to the third over 3 minus 2x, going from 1 to the square root of 97 minus 1 over 4, and then plus, whoops, didn't mean to do that. That's what we're doing. We're taking the integral of it. So negative x squared over 2 plus 10x going from the square root of 97 minus 1 over 4 to 10. Okay, so I'm going to let you go ahead and work it out from there. Just taking this stuff, plugging it in, right? Upper minus lower. Okay, I'll go ahead and plug this into the calculator. Pause the video. Alright, after working all that out, I ended up getting 34.451266653, so that's just going to be 34.451. That's what I'm getting. Alright, let's go over to the web page. Of course, I clicked the answer to make sure everything was working out, and that's what we got. So remember, area is always a positive number, and usually we throw on some square units on the end of it, like centimeters squared, feet squared, miles squared. But we're just leaving that stuff off, focusing on the calculus. We're here at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice that. See you later.